Hello and welcome to PSM Speak G20 Group of 20 Summit. It was successfully held on 9 and 10 September this month in Delhi. I would like to briefly tell all about the G20 summit, what happened in Delhi and what is the history and origin of G20 and importance of G20. This I am trying to explain, keeping in view the competitive examination goers, to be of help to those who are taking different competitive examinations like IAS, IPS and state service examinations, to know what is G20 and what happened in Delhi. First, let us take what happened in Delhi. Delhi, I said it was successfully held, the summit. Why I say it is success? The important salient points. First thing is that the consensus evolved. The Delhi Declaration was signed by all the 20 members of the G20 without any opposition. Of course, lot of efforts went into to make it an agreement accepted by everybody, to make it a declaration accepted by everybody without any opposition. The Delhi summit was held in Pragati Maidan, as you know, in Bharat Mandapam, International Exhibition cum Convention Center, IECC. And as the president of India Summit, India invited as guests a few countries and also a few international organizations and some regional organizations. The invitee countries were Bangladesh, Egypt, Mauritius, Singapore, Spain, UAE, Netherlands, Nigeria and Oman. The international organizations, besides the regular organizations like United Nations, International Monetary Fund, World Trade Organization, etc. This time India invited ISA, International Solar Alliance, CDRI, Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, Asian Development Bank. These are the guest international organizations, and the chairs of regional organizations were AU, African Union, AUDA, ARDA, NEPAD, African Union's Development Agency, New Partnership for African Development, then Association for South Asian Nations. So coming back to the details of Delhi conference, what happened there? First I said the consensus agreement itself is an achievement. These are the important main points I am talking about. The consensus is important. Although this grouping in the summit, the heads of government and states were supposed to attend, two country heads did not attend. Chinese President Xi Jinping did not attend. In his place as his representative, he sent Premier Li Xiang. Similarly in Russia, the Ukraine war and background, you know, Russian President Vladimir Putin did not attend. Instead, he sent the Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. So the first thing I am repeating is the consensus despite all these problems. The second most important thing to note insofar as Delhi outcome is concerned, African Union comprising 55 countries of Africa joining G20, of course making it hereafter G21. The third most notable feature is Global Biofuel Alliance, GBA. A new organization was launched for sustainable biofuels. Fourth, a group of countries made a joint agreement for India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor for building rail and shipping corridor linking India with Middle East and Europe. The fifth thing that we should notice, the declaration focused on balanced and inclusive growth. Growth, but inclusive growth, including the poor, vulnerable and everybody. And the sixth concern, we can say all the other issues that the declaration has focused on. They include sustainable development goals, hunger, malnutrition, education, climate concerns, climate change, energy, and also it has taken up issues like digital economy, cryptocurrencies and their regulation, women, gender equality, terrorism, anti-corruption. These were all included in the Delhi Declaration. Now coming to the history, origin and evolution of G20. It was founded in 1999 following Asian financial crisis. 20 members have come together to have finance minister level and the governors of the central banks, central bank like our Reserve Bank of India, to discuss global economic and financial issues. But later in 2008, following the global economic and financial crisis, the groupings and the countries felt that there is a need for a consensus action by cooperation by the 20 members. Then the grouping was elevated from finance ministers and central bank governors level to heads of state and government level. The meeting should be participated by the heads. We can understand the importance that time they felt and the importance today it has. In 2009, it has become a premier forum for economic cooperation. I said it comprises 19 countries. What are they? Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Germany, India, Indonesia, Canada, China, France, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Republic of Korea, Russia, Saudi Arabia, United States of America, European Union, South Africa, Turkey and United Kingdom. We have also noted European Union as a member, but it is not a single country. Now African Union has joined after Delhi Summit as 21st member. And the African Union, as we have already seen, comprises 55 African countries. G20 meets annual summit every year. And the one recently concluded was 18th summit. The presidency of the summit is on rotation basis. 19 countries are brought under 5 groups to have regional representation. It is on a rotation basis. One country today and next another and so on. The G20 decides. So it was India's turn to preside the recent 18th summit. Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia and United States. Although we said it is regional, that rule doesn't apply for this group 1. Also to group 2, which consists of the members India, Russia, South Africa and Turkey. Then group 3 comprises Argentina, Brazil, Mexico. Group 4, France, Germany, Italy and United Kingdom. Group 5, China, Indonesia, Japan and Republic of Korea. And as you know, European Union is not in any of these 5 groups. The G20 does not have a permanent secretariat. The country which is currently holding the presidentship of the summit is responsible to coordinate. India, as in the case of 18th summit recently concluded. Then there is an arrangement, Troika. This Troika comprises 3 nations. One which was the president last year, 2022 it was Indonesia. The present Troika is Indonesia, India. India 2023 and next presiding country is Brazil. This forms a Troika. And it helps for consultations for the country which is presiding, India, the other 2 countries. Also we see words like Sherpa track and Sherpa. What is Sherpa? Sherpa is the person who assists the head of the nation. The Sherpa in 18th summit who helped the president of the summit, Mr. Modi, was Mr. Amitabh Kant, who worked as the chief executive officer of the Niti Aayog. The summit, although it looks to be successfully held, but lot of efforts are required by the Sherpa and the governments. They require to hold several meetings, consultations, negotiations, drafts, and to come to a final agreement. While initially it was only macroeconomic issues that G20 was concerned with. But now trade is an issue, health an important issue, education is important, agriculture is important, energy, environment, climate issues, and anti-corruption, which is plaguing many countries, is also an important issue. So it is an important group. How important is this? G20, if we compare its status in the world, it accounts for 85% of the global GDP. And we said trade, 75% of world trade, global population, 66% of the population. Now, with the inclusion of African Union and 55 countries, its GDP in world GDP is approximately 3%. I have rounded it off. It is something like 2.84%. So adding 3%, the G21 now represents 88% of world GDP. And global trade, Africa again accounts for close to 3%. So add this 3%, it is 78% in global trade. Then in global population, that is more important, 17%. So now the current level of 17% add to 66% already comes to 83%. So G21 now represents 83% of the population, global population. So we can understand its importance. And this is a forum where the rich or poor can voice their concern, work for an agreement and for cooperation, for dealing the issues that these countries are facing. Not that instantly something will happen, but there will be discussion, debate. The pressure could be built for a peaceful world without wars, that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam concept. So it is really, really important. Thank you so much for so patiently watching this video. Please subscribe to PSM Speak. Thank you.